Day we're going to have it going on right now. We got it coming to you, talking about the private companies that starts war at the drop of a hat, ran by one named Wild Wagner, fought Ukrainian forces in Donbass. And this has been going on since 2014. They placed private parties, talking about private war parties in different states and countries. Then when it's activated, they already in place. They start taking all your money. First doing it like this, cutting out MasterCards and all that. Talking about grievance, how many Turkish, yeah, they pay $1. You heard me? And they win it all. $1. They get it. But that's the Wall Street eyes with the feds. You heard me? Unpredictable beast. That's right. If the Federal Reserve sticks to it, to its paths, the market faces a painful reckoning. Talking about reckoning going down. Yeah. Yeah, the interest rates running ahead of the feds is one thing or another. The Fed faith. Well, it goes down like this. And Big Baby gonna give it to you just like this here. Welcome everybody to understand how two sides got so far apart. It helps to look back. Yeah, through the gap and in between the distance of one another, it gives you space to look back. For decades, investors have put their faith in the Fed, put the belief that when markets fall substantially, the Fed will lower interest rates. Well, you get a page right here on the Wall Street Journal, and they purchase bonds and otherwise increase liquidity in the financial system. The belief dates to the 1980s. So these things have been going on. It's gotten to a boiling point where Putin has placed Russians of war in different states and countries as coming connecting with other wars that's been going on. That's why they spoke about the Iranians and Putin with the Chinaman being able to see what's going on with the U.S. and the UN aliens, allies rather. Yeah, excuse me on that, it's allies, and the situation got real bad. So Putin thought he had it on lock with, his number one hip man, but the hip man didn't make it back in office, which is Trump. So he took it up on his own to become what you call one that predicts and does what he wants. And so he took it on himself to start that war. And now you have Russians. That's a Russian living in Russia, leaving Russia, fleeing to Georgia because of the after effect that's going to take place towards Russia coming from Ukraine. Ukrainians, they are walking through Ukraine now with two other presidents, and they are sending unbeknowingly, but quote unquote, President Zelensky is for the hits, but he claims they're not doing the hits. I mean, it's happening in Russia with the drones, and the drones are hitting certain areas where the warmen are going taking food to the other armed men for the Russians, and they knocking off the food trucks and the food planes or what have you. But the Ukrainian president said they don't have nothing to do with it. But the deal is, Putin is still not at the bitter end, but it's hated that way because if you in terms they're speaking of in 4 years before it happened that people wanted to leave because they saw what was going to really take place, how he started taking army men and spreading them across the country, and just in case he got to do a split decision on attacking one of the U.S. allies, that would have made a mistake and joined that war with the Ukrainians. But it was posted not to do so. But had it been done, Putin already had Russians in position to counterpunch. Yeah, that's looking at. He don't care about the world war as long as he get that Ukrainian area that he figures for Russia. And if he don't get that, he say he gonna take the whole thing. Well, that's that he tried to do, and he may still do it. But at the same time, the war he's saying is not over because in the Wall Street Journal it speaks and shows the president walking through Ukraine, the Ukraine president Zelensky, with another president and one other Secretary of State for the UN. Yes, so it looks as if the war is not going to go on while they're in there with him. Makes me think they were behind the situation, a part of it. But I don't know. That's just me looking at from being on the street. If a nigga heard me is having a problem, and all of a sudden somebody come on that person's side, either they didn't know about it and they come to stop it, or they knew about it and they wanted them to do something that they was already trying to get them to do, but tried to stay in the blind. So when they agreed to take the step to start that conversation of doing what needs to be done, then the one who has the power step forward. But at the same time, they already know what was going on. They was trying to get them to get it done, but don't make me part of it. Just make me look like the one that come to solve the problem from going any further. Because they're agreeing to do what, quote unquote, the one you didn't know was the one that's right there with you trying to get it done. So I don't know. It's a fishy. It's called Catch-22, and they got the one that say the dozens. Well, we ain't playing a dozen. It's the kiss of Catch-22 on this. You see it and you miss it, but if you don't, just hope you don't be the one that get it, because when they do war, they do it. They did the damn thing. Yeah, he violated a lot of rules in having a war. You got things you can't do because there's a war. Catastrophic, different things you take place, like shooting down schools, and you can't do that. You warn against the country, or you warn against the nation, or you warn against the politicians or the government. So the politician and the government is the same. So you warn against them or the other two. So well, if you're not warned against the other two, don't kill the innocent children. This is not a world war. This is one of being done senseless. As President Biden said, it's a senseless war. It took place, but there's nothing we could do about it but stand by and watch and hope everything work out for the better. Because like he said, at the bitter end, he doesn't approve of Putin continue being the president of Russia. So there's a lot of things going on that caused the Ukrainian president and the UN Secretary of State and the president of another country to come through and not get ambushed or harmed, and that's the Ukraine. Well, you got the Ukraine President Zelensky's there, and you got the Turkish President Erdogan is there, and you have the UN Secretary General Guterres is there. So, and there's a bunch of other senators or something in the background, but at the same time, with those people being there, Putin is not shooting down anything at them. So I guess they claim the war is over, but there's some other things going on because you got companies that take on the responsibilities and build their own and have big weapons. They got big weapons. And there's one guy right now that, like I said, been going on since 2014, has a company. While Wagner fought Ukrainian forces in Donbass as early as 2014. The company's main focus over the past 8 years has been in Syria, Libya, Mali, and the Central African Republic, where it often offered its services to Russian-backed leaders. You see, he offered services to the Russian-backed leaders, meaning the people that's not up front with Putin, the people that's behind them, or the people that control this one solid armed forces, which is a company that will do and bring harm to any country that these people that's of a different country that has hired them to be a secret armed force for them. Yeah, they that's how they doing it now. It's to make it not be a war, a world war. They subcontracting out war. You heard me, hits. Yeah, this is what they doing. This is real. It's a coordinated group, and it's not the first war for them. See it, Ukrainian National Security Advisor Alexei Danilov. Unlike other smaller private Russian military companies, you see what I'm saying? Military companies. So you and I, if we had the finances and the connections that's what needs to be done. You have to build an armed force around throughout each state. And this is what's been going on, coming from the Russians into the United States. Yeah. So the jailhouse is not going to actually work when you got wars of companies. I mean, battleships of wars of companies. These people got money and getting paid money to do and be ready to do what needs to be done, and they are in accordance with your United States congressmen and all that. That's they're allowing it to happen. It's being written, and it's written. You heard me in the Wall Street Journal. So you can't tell me they don't know about it. It's the people who can't read about it don't know about it. I'm trying to give it to you. I'm trying to let you hear about it. And this ain't no 50-cent newspaper. This newspaper costs $5. $5 for one newspaper, just like a regular Louisiana Weekly, or yeah. You understand? But it's giving you all the critical answers that you want to know about. they're in here, and you have to you read it and you hear it and you see it, and it is what it is. You just didn't know it was going down like that, but it's going down hard in the paint. Cause see now what they have here, this is something supposed to be happening way in 2050. Okay, 2050. Right now, we're in 2022, but we have an agreement. Without agreement between China and the U.S., it might prove difficult to prod other countries to adopt more ambitious measures at COP27. At COP27, the next big United Nations climate conference to be held in Egypt in November. Under President Biden, the U.S. rejoiced the Paris Agreement to limit global warming and pledged to at least have its greenhouse gas emissions from 2005 level by 2030 and to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. Now, these are like, this is like 20, 30 years ahead of time. This is how they operate. This is how they communicate in the Wall Street Journal. They give it to you like they getting it, like they doing it. What you getting in your area immediately, in your city newspaper, I'm not saying it's not good, but it's what goes on around you, but inside you, right there in the hood. But this here goes around the country. What goes around, what how you determine when the shipment's gonna come in for your foods and your clothes and your whatever, and they are having war while all that's being trafficking across the water. See, the bigger shipments come across the water. What's on land is just already just gonna be delivered right like that. But the big old all of that come across the waters, like the Red Sea, the Black Sea coming from the south side of Ukraine, where the Russia's trying to get, because that's where they have all the supply for the energy of, and then you got grain, you got oil, you got gas and electric. So all that is coming from Russia route through Ukraine, across the Black Sea, and going into Canada, through Canada, coming down all the way back down to the States. So it's just one way to find out about the U.S.-China trade climate is to read the Wall Street Journal, and you're going to get it, and it's going to show it to you, and you can either going to accept it or stay in the blind and say, oh, I ain't got nothing to do with that. They ain't got nothing to do with me. But that's the food you eating that's traveling, and that's how they getting in, controlling what you claiming you ain't got nothing to do with. And when they get in and claim the bigger thing, then they automatically controls the smaller things. Yeah, they control the amount you can get in a package for a certain amount of money. Yeah, if you don't watch it, you'll be paying way arm and a leg for the right things, but you might pay a penny for the bad things. Sometimes the bad things be the things you be eating on a regular basis and don't know it ain't no good for you. You know? So the deal is, we got all kind of lawsuits and stuff going on in here. They got Watson gets 11-game suspension. This is a quarterback. Was also fined $5 million for violation of the NFL personal conduct policy. Well, 11 games plus $5 million? Shit, you must be damn good. You must be in the way of Michael Vick, because they want Michael Vick to be the number one quarterback. Went to prison and came out and handled that. You heard me? You understand? It ain't my fault, but they make things happen, and you know you gotta see it for what it is. You know. Well, they got other things in here too about like the freedom of speech. You know, so what Rush Dye understood about free speech. Well, Elmore Latour's advocative opposed on the bitter irony that Salman Rushdie should have been brutally attacked at the Chautauqua institution, but a stabbing at Chautauqua August the 13th recalls for me the efforts I had and others made to ensure protection for Mr. Rushard at his first U.S. public speech after the 1989 FATWA. Almost 3 years later, Mr. Rushdie was invited to an event sponsored by Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism. To our delight and surprise, he accepted it. He accepted it. He knew that they was trying to kill him, but he accepted. You gotta watch what you accept. So we spoke first to one of the leading private entities that provides protection for people at risk of harm. Its response was unequivocal. It could not provide meaningful protection for someone that a foreign nation, Iran, was seeking to kill. Iran was seeking to kill. Foreign nation, Iran was seeking to kill Rushdie. So when I asked who could protect Mr. Rushdie, it responded that only the New York Police Department could do it. Wow. And so the police did that night with skill and dedication. All right. Well, tell you one thing. If you're trying to get you a battle war of men, you go to New York. They sure know how to protect you. At the Law Library at Columbia University on December 11, 1991, Mr. Rushdie spoke about how he had already spent over 1,000 days at continuing risk of assassination. Wow. He dodging this been 1,000 days. He had dodging assassination. They trying to kill him. He quoted one of his Islamic extremist opponents as saying, "Free speech is a non-starter," and recalled his response, "No, sir, it is not. Free speech is the whole thing, the whole ball game. Free speech is life itself." Well, sound like somebody about right that free speech is life itself, because if you can't say don't do this to me. You can't say stop. You can't say nothing. Well, your life is not your life no more. It's over. Your freedom of life is over if you can't speak to help protect yourself. Freedom of speech. They trying to take that from you. They killed. You heard me? They already killed one. They killed the main one that was trying to make sure it could stand up and be there for us. Freedom of speech. And they kill him. Woo, woo. Rush died. Yeah, now, the thing is, it happened, and I'm sorry that things went down like that, but these are the things we need to know that take place for wars. They have different people different armed forces that you can hire to do a war for you, but you have to pay the government for being able to get it established, just like getting a company. You have to pay your taxes. Well, these are some extremist taxes that you have to pay for war type deals. And we like they say, we don't even know who the first to talk to find out about the war men. But you read the Wall Street Journal, you can find out where they located in your country. And the main and the good ones are in New York, they say. That's the ones protecting them. And when he dropped them, that's when it happened. So it's just one thing or another. Double down on failure, because nothing beats a failure but a try. And he got tired, so he laid there and he died. He gave up. So don't count out crime as a 2022 midterm issue. They got cashless bails, defund the police, and unsafe streets, and add up to danger at the polls for Democrats. Watch out. So now you gotta watch out. You go to vote. They asking you don't supposed to say you Democrat or Republican. You're not supposed to say expose none of that. Disclose none of that. You're just supposed to say I'm coming to vote. Can I get someone to help me? I don't know which one is what, but I'm voting for such and such. That, you know what I'm saying? When you get in the cubicle thing, right there out there, you can't say nothing. They gonna kill you. See, cashless bail, defund police, and unsafe streets add up to danger at the polls for Democrats, not for the Republicans, for Democrats. Why? Because they got the Democrats are the ones that's actually in the beginning was fighting to become able to make a statement, to place a vote, so they trying to knock you out again. This time they trying to do it in the way they did everything else. They gonna kill you to make you say, oh, I'm a Republican. The hell with that. You heard me? So they gonna kill enough till you say, oh, everybody, oh, we all Republicans. Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want. All the money go one way. Yeah. And see, it's just such a bad thing. I just don't understand. But it's to be watched, world watch. You gotta watch out, because women, we got some women that have been sentenced to prison for their tweets, for tweeting. You heard me? That's in Saudi. In Saudi, court sentenced a doctoral student to 34 years in prison for spreading rumors and retweeting dissidents, according to court documents obtained Thursday, a decision that has drawn growing global condemnation. See, she done reached out to globally. She ain't went no real like right there just in the hood. She's global, and they gave her 34 years. She might have good time in there some kind of way because she was student to sentenced to 34 years in prison for spreading rumors and retweeting descendants. Ain't this something? Well, and then she was detained on January the 15th, and Martin Luther King birthday. I mean, just talk to me. Something she doing to the effect of what's probably representing what Martin Luther King was doing, and she got 34 years on that. You heard me? Believe that, trying to show the people the difference between street reality of life and the internet by tweeting it. And that's hard. That's hard. Vacation, like she was on vacation on 15/2021. You heard me? Days before she planned to return to the United Kingdom, according to the Freedom Initiative, a Washington-based human rights group. See, everything is done with a group. Different groups are named, and you got to get the business license. You got to pay the city pay. You got to do the government. You got to pay taxes, and then they still lock you up. You heard me? After they done got your money and all that, lock you up if it ain't right to them. If it messes up, crosses the law of theirs. Miss L. Shihab told judges she had been held for more than 285 days in solitary confinement before her case was even referred to a court. Wow. You mean she ain't had preliminary hearing the next morning or nothing? She in 24 hours? Damn, they violate all her rights. You ain't got no rights. Keep telling you, they trying to make everything Republican. Everything go one way. Human rights watchdog Amnesty International slammed Ms. L. Shihab's trial as grossly unfair and her sentence as cruel and unlawful. That was, you right, that was cruel and unlawful. I've never heard of that. A person tweeting something and retweeting something that's non-fictional, of her own, human rights. Man, she been railroad, boom whizzle. You heard me? Taken for a ride for 34 years in prison. Shit, for spreading rumors. Ain't nothing nice. That's what I'm saying. You can't just go around saying things about people, but you can get sued. I didn't know you're gonna go to jail like that. 34 years. Wow, man. Judges accuse of her of disturbing public order and destabilizing the social fabric, claims stemming solidly from her social media activity. This is what the judge accused her of. Disturbing public order. Now that's like starting a riot. You heard me? So they start rising Chicago, they start rising California. They do them things. But this woman on Twitter, she tweeted, and the judge considers she disturbing in this and caused a riot to the public. Destabilizing social fabric, claims stemming slowly from her social media activity. They ain't banned her. They gave her 34 years and banned her. I ain't never heard them ban her. You ain't read nothing say ban. If she do it again, they gonna triple the time. It's the judge got it out for her. She leaving that open hand for her. Go on in there and smack yourself again and see what I give you. They used to have to go to court and the judge. This ain't even criminal court. Shit, this civil court and the judge say you plead guilty or not guilty with no statement. Well, Your Honor, I plead guilty with a statement. 3 months. You pleading guilty with no statement? You heard me? Or you pleading innocent with no statement? Don't give me no statement. Ain't no statement. It's either guilty or innocent. But Your Honor, 30 more days. I didn't ask you, but I either yes or no with which one you want to plead to, guilty or innocent. I'm innocent, Your Honor. I'm innocent. Well, you innocent with 30 days, 60 days right now, and you got an attorney. If not, we'll have one an attorney to you. This is how the judge did, and that was Mad Max. Mad Max ain't one hit. You got an open container, $50, $50 fine. You say, but Your Honor, the $50 with 30 days. But Your Honor, $50 with 60 days. That's how he did it. You didn't shut your ass up. You don't even say, okay, Your Honor, or nothing. You just be quiet. You just shut up. Hold up. All under your breath. Yeah, you know, that's how Mad Max was. Mad Max was nothing nice. You ain't had no say-so. You had and did whatever was written on the police report. You ain't had no kind of help to get out of that. You gonna either pay the $50 or do the time and $50. You gonna get that money out you. Yeah, but the deal is innocent or not innocent. That's the whole answer. It ain't with no statement with it. Your Honor, see, I done read the statement in the police report. Will you either innocent or you not? Tell me about no statement. And y'all hear me? And that go for anybody after this one here. I'm automatically attaching on 60 days if you say anything other than what you're supposed to be answering to. and I want the $30 or the $50 that's gonna come with the bind. You understand? I need that out you. Niggas be quiet, look at each other, and niggas be a mumbling. Nigga, don't look at me, fuck. Don't look at you, shit. He looking at all of us. What the hell? You think it ain't what he looking at, is what you say out your mouth. You better not say whatever he don't want to hear. Yes, indeed, shit. You had one judge Judge Armstrong, boy, was nothing nice, yeah. If you got her for the judge to do the judging on what you done wrong, heard me, and she twirling them thumbs moving, going them way laying up or they laying down. When she get ready to say what she gotta say, if they laying down, that means you going home. Them thumbs laying up, you going upstate. There ain't nothing you can do. You gonna 3 years. 3 years, 9 years, you say something else, you gonna get 6 more on top of that. Man, shit, who? Yes, Your Honor. I can do the 3 on my head, standing on. See, that's how I like to hear it. You understand? So give him 2.5. But you gonna get that time. Well, thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for taking all 6 months for me, Your Honor. Shit. Who? Judge Armstrong wasn't nothing nice. I tell you. You got a lot of things that went on there. Ain't got nothing to do with me, but I mean, you know, if I sat in the court and saw some things, well, I saw some things. I paid attention to things. And I was trying to figure out what was going on. So when the thumbs went down and this dude was before the other dude, when the thumb went up, he went home. I said, well, damn, the thumb down, this nigga went home. Okay. So we'll take a break, come back. So she took a break, come back in 10 minutes. And sat down and twinkle and put her hand like in the group and then twinkle her thumbs and one landed up and the other one still just going in a circle. And shit, and he said something that the other one land straight up and you know, I said, well, I done heard enough, you know what I'm saying? And he talking about, no, Jan, I'm just trying to explain. No, you explained it. I heard enough. And right now, I'm fed up with it. And you got 3 years right now because I told you I didn't want you back in my courthouse no more anyway. And it ain't been a year yet. So 3 years, and that'll give you some time to think about it. I guarantee you won't be in here. You heard me, in my courthouse again until after 3 years. And I need to see you 6 months before you get released because I need to find out just how well you've been doing. Now you didn't, because you steady talking, and then she trying to find out ways to give you more time, bringing you back in the courthouse. So the dude say, "Oh, yeah, I got nothing to say. I do that on my head." She said, "Well, all right, since you can do it on your head, give him two and a half years. 2.5 years, he got that on his head." Niggas, they can talk that shit. They be talking about how I can do that standing on my head. Yeah, all right. Well, good thing you plead to that. You know, you're going to get 2.5 years, not 3. And that was Judge Armstrong plea right there. That's a wrap. And shit, huh? Judge Armstrong, Judge Mad Max was nothing nice. Shit. Now, now, they got some other judges that they was good judges. But they already know. They look at you. They read you, and they read your spirit as you coming in to take the trial. They already see it. They take and go in, play with whatever you describing, and they can see it. And if they don't want to hear it no more, shit, huh? You can guarantee they gonna be start doing something else. But they hear you, but they doing something else. But they ain't really into it because they know already heard the first lie. When they hear you lying, that's a wrap. The judge might turn around, look around. You trying to look at the judge, the judge ain't looking at you. The DA in your shit, and the judge is hearing it. But if you talking fair and square, and you look up and look to and you see the judge is looking in your face because they hearing and understanding that this person here was actually the one that's being harmed. Regardless of the outcome that happened to the other person, they can see that you weren't the aggressor. And that kind of judge like that, like Judge, you heard me, was up in District Judge D, in courtroom D, judge, so the thing about it is what it is. And you had some other ones. You got Judge Mr. C, Judge Clarence, and you got those different judges that do things that every judge don't do. Some of them be lenient with you. Some of them give you opportunities to do work relief programs and stuff, But with this lady with this Twitter, she tweeted the wrong Twitter tweet, and it probably was about somebody that was friends with the judge that gave her the 34 years, because she didn't expose some lies, and she's saying some things that's not true, and it cost her freedom for 34 years. So gotta be careful what you say on the internet, because they got some guys, them rappers, they lay there, they talking all kind of stuff about that guy Charleston White, and Charleston White is telling them, that he be in character, that he he go, yeah, I would do this here, do that there, but he let them know he in character first, and then he starts showing these big guns, big Luger guns, and Gracos and all that, and then he come right there, right behind it, and say, "Oh, that's prop guns now. That's not real. I'm reading a strip. I'm in character, so don't take none of that personal. No. All this, I'm just acting. I'm doing me on my page. You understand? So that's it. And then the person that's on the opposite side try to do what he did, show guns and talk about they gonna get him, but they don't come back and say, well, I'm in character. And that was not a real gun. And I don't mean no harm. They don't do none of that. And then the feds pick it up. The alphabet boys, the alphabet peoples pick it up. Whether it be the woman or the man of the alphabets, they pick it up, and then they call Charleston and ask him, is his life feeling in danger? And he gonna Oh yeah, I'm terrified, petrified. No, yeah, the guy gonna come and get me. I can't go travel. I can't even. My job is to be in Atlanta, and I can't get there because of O Block. Well, there you go. He didn't Mace one. He's still on the run. He under the radar. Now he got this other one picked up trying to vouch and jump for the one that got Mace. Is and the one that came that they picked up. They actually say, well, what you was gonna do when you was in such and such area if you would have saw Charleston White? Now he didn't say nothing. See, that's where his downfall came. He should have said, well, oh well, I would have been in character with Charleston White. He would have been joking. I would have been joking. I don't mean no harm to him. That's all he had to say. But he didn't. He froze up, and then they locked him up and told him no bind because they ain't got nothing. What he need a lawyer. Nah, he got to get a lawyer. He can't recall that. The lawyer can come in and set for another preliminary hearing and get it put it to a bind where he can give a restraining order. You understand? It's a different way to avoid doing time. Now he got to pay for a lawyer, and he got to change his statement, and he got to make sure that he don't get back on Charleston White page at no kind of way for joking or nothing, because he got a charge on him now, and it'll be open charge, even though nothing happened, but he has to get a lawyer. That's the only one can help him from this point. They gave him opportunity, and he didn't. He froze up on himself. You see, you can't freeze up on yourself, and you can't rat on yourself. But either way you go, if you freeze up on yourself, whatever the people thinking, you just done told it. Even though you ain't said nothing, it is what they thinking. So you have to be a person of a very little talking, but when talking is needed, you know what to say. So you have to read something every day in life to understand when to use whatever you have to say to help yourself. Because temptation comes at you, and you can keep your mouth shut, and you tempted to either can get free, or you tempted to either get time without no bind. So the thing about it is, if you tempted to speak, let it be speaking where you be spoken where as though, no, I did not mean no harm to that man at all. Matter of fact, I wanted to get with him to speak on how we can. You heard me? Hey, you got to play into the hand, play into that hand to keep yourself free. But if you want to be Mr. Hard, that's on you. You go hard, make it soft ass. Go lay on that, you heard me, that hard mat and that hard damn thing. You want the 3 meals in a cot. Well, that's what you got. But if you want your freedom, you got to give them what they're needing. They needing sorrowful speaking. Well, I'm sorry, y'all got the wrong one. I ain't trying to do him nothing, not me. Who, Charleston White? I follow him as you heard me, as he you understand, does things to help the community with the people and the youngsters. I'm just trying to pick up some things from him to curb the youngsters from going the ways that I went. But he didn't do nothing. He didn't say nothing. So he was the laughing stock of the court, and they gave him, boom, back in jail with no bond. He need a lawyer now. He didn't say nothing, but if he would have said something to help himself, he could have got a bond. Now he didn't say nothing to hurt himself, but whatever the judge received from the other person who was Charleston White and the FBI is standing strong. Because he ain't saying that. It's making it like what they saying is true. So sometimes you have to know when to speak, when you're spoken to. Don't care what they talk about. You ain't snitching if you get set free. Fuck, you ain't snitching. You telling them like it is. I ain't not me ain't doing Charleston White nothing. The hell with that. That man doing what he want to do, and I'm trying to get part of that good information from him so I can know how to talk to these youngsters these days and time, because the times in the past being with the whoop de whoop de whoop, you heard me, wasn't right, but I couldn't change it. Maybe now it's time for it to get changed by me being a follower towards Charleston White, because he got some good advice. You heard me? And we gonna get it right. But me going in jail with no bond, that ain't on time. That ain't gonna happen with me. I ain't got time for that. I'm gonna tell you like it is. I ain't got nothing against the man, me. I ain't looking for him in no wrong way. But if I was to see him today in this place, we gonna be laughter and talking, trying to figure out how we can get this together, walking together, not against each other. So it's all about me getting my freedom and helping others gain their freedom and stay free. I ain't got nothing against him. And quote unquote whoop de whoop who got maced, I ain't got nothing to do with that. They ain't had nothing to do with me. You know, so don't get it misunderstood. I was just making a joke statement, but I didn't really know how to get in his company. So I thought I was in his company by just talking. I don't mean no harm to him. You ain't gotta worry about me saying nothing to him at all no more. And you know what I'm saying? I just have to see it and read it and then take note and then discuss it to my young followers that look up to him too. And I want them to continue looking up to me. That's all you gotta do. But he ain't said nothing. So nothing from nothing, leave nothing. You don't get no bond, then you gotta go sit back in jail. That shit that don't work, boy. You gotta be quick on your feet. You heard me? They ain't never told you about that. You understand? Shit, you need to rap about that, how to be quick on your feet. Cause you was slow, huh? Right at the door. You was right at the door. You too slow to get out. Damn, you missed the knob and the knob. What? Nigga, yeah, man, you missed it. Shit. Yes, indeed. You need a lawyer now. But it is what it is, and you get it told right here with Big Baby Live, and it goes down like that. Hard to paint on the Opinion Talk Show. Until next time, be good with it. Peace out, happiness, and love.